It's relatively common to use a counter control variable in the body of the loop as part of calculations. For our next example, we want to just simply demonstrate how to sum the even integers from 2 through 20. So we have a simple little loop in this example, and again we're using counter controlled iteration. We begin in our main method here by initializing a total to 0. Then we're going to count starting from 2 as long as the number counter variable is less than or equal to 20. And notice in this case, for the first time, that we're incrementing by more than 1. So here we're using the plus equals compound assignment operator to add 2 to the control variable. And each of the examples in which we've done counter controlled iteration so far has counted in increasing order, but we could also count in decreasing order as well by starting with a higher counter variable value, using a greater than or equal to operator in the condition, and using a negative increment or a decrement, therefore, in the last section of the for iteration statement here. So here we're counting from 2 to 20, the even integers, incrementing by 2 each time. And each iteration of the loop simply takes the current value of the counter and adds it to the total, so that by the time we get to line 17, total contains the sum of the even integers. And if I go ahead and run the program here, we can see that the sum is 110. And for those of you who may be newer to programming, this is a great example to run in the context of the debugger, because you can go ahead and set a breakpoint and watch how the total changes over time. So if I go ahead and start debugging in this case, we can see at the moment that total is 0 and number has not been initialized to 2 yet. If I step, we can see that number is now 2, and notice that the debugger is smart enough to show us that after the declaration of the control variable and initialization of the control variable, that the loop continuation condition is going to execute next. So we can see that number is 2 if I hover over that, and of course 2 is less than or equal to 20, so the next thing to happen is that we'll go into the body and increment the total by the value of number. So if I step over that statement, we can see the total is now 2. Next, we're going to go from the end of the loop to the increment section. So let's do another step. Now it's going to increment number by 2, and if I step, we can now see that number is 4, so that the next time through the loop, this continuation condition is still true. We will then add 4 to the total, and of course at that point it'll become 6, and we continue on from there.